Ladies and gentlemen, we have set sail. Me and the coach is back. Rick Garza, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Rick, for all right, baby, coming back. I didn't run you off the first time. I'll see if I can do something this time. Yeah, but I tell you, man, you got it going on. If, I'm a Facebook surfer. I surf the Facebook. And Mamma Mia, man, you have some great posts of camps, this, that. It's exciting. And if I was a young player, I tell you, I would say, yeah, I think Coach Garza's got something going on around here. I got to meet up with that guy. And all the people that I admire, they all say the same thing about you.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. If you were a schmuck, I wouldn't be talking to you, and you probably wouldn't be talking to me. But it's because you're well certified, baby. You're in the Hall of Fame. That's right. It doesn't come easy, baby. So
that's an honor. Because all the people you're interviewing and everything like that, it's an honor to be amongst them.
Boom. Yeah. And they all say the same thing about you. How about that? I mean, yeah. So the situation handles is under full disclosure. Everybody's got to recognize, hey, man, just because you're a coach doesn't mean life stops for you and waits till you get back on or anything. I mean, you have a lot of life's situations in love and in sorrow, whole 9 yards from your family and your extended family. Would you? And I'm sure that you have empathy for your players. That, hey, man, life doesn't stop. You play soccer in addition to living. So you want to touch base with that at all, or just, I've said enough?
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, it's soccer for me. I mean, it's a lifestyle. And the guys that are growing up now, it's more in their face with soccer and more opportunities, and the guys who are finishing their careers now, are just appreciating the moments that they have. And as a coach, it's just about just provide for the generation that's ending and make way for the new generation, and just keep building it and making them fans of the game, and just make them better players and smarter people and better people in the world. Nice.
And you see that every year, because every season's a new season.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the summer as well as the college season.
Yeah.
But also the Club Atletico summer as well. I get older, they kind of stay the same age, but it's always a new group of people, and you just mentor them, and you think bigger picture than the game, and you get better results on the field because you're caring more about them off the field than you are on the field.
Well, I know it's a blast when you get to see them off the pitch and they recognize you. I mean, some don't, but some do. And oh, wow, man, what you say? They ask you, hey, you remember me? I can't forget you, man. Yeah, I remember you. So, yeah. So, one of the, back in the day, it was Kudus Soccer Club that, man, you had Kudus on your jersey. You were a pretty cool cat daddy-o. I don't want to, stretch the imaginations, but, this Club Atletico, how do I pronounce it?
Club Atletico?
Yes. is something to be proud of when you wear that shirt, man. It's a.
It does. For sure. Cudis, my grandfather, that's where I got my soccer blood. He played for Cudis, he played for Simpkins, back in the 50s and 60s.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he played with the best of them, and just like you said, it meant something. And then my generation growing up before high school, it meant something to play for the Bush Soccer Club and the Norcos, and it meant something. And unfortunately, these days, when you've got 10 to 15 teams in an age group, does it really mean anything anymore? I don't know what's going on these days, and more clubs are popping up. So I don't know. You could talk for hours about is it a good thing or a bad thing, but for what we're trying to do with Club Atletico, there's really only one of us that have been doing this for as long as we've been doing it, and the way that we've been doing it, and the reason of doing it, and all of that makes us very unique. And players understand that you're a part of the Garza family when you play here, and you're always a part of the Garza family even when you move on. And that's always going to be our tradition with Club Atletico, as we're really good soccer, but we're growing beyond the game forever.
Damn, you got a spot for a 68-year-old guy, man? Goalkeeper? Gosh, man. Wow. Hey, it was Granddaddy Garza. It was or maiden name. Your grandfather was
Nick Borzillo. Borzillo was from Italy, so Nick Borzillo grew up on the hill. Frank Borghi. One time I was sitting on the steps and talking to Frank Borghi one time, and he had told me how my grandpa was one of the best players that he ever played with, and I've never forgotten that moment to hear him say that. And that was my grandpa. Playing with those guys. He played with Nick Piriani and Keogh, and I've got all these clippings of him with all these famous people. But instead of the 1950s World Cup, my grandpa, he was in the Army. He missed that opportunity to play, but he was playing with all those guys on the hill, and it's an inspiration to me. And I just kind of carried it on, and and I never got to see him play, or I actually didn't even get to know him very well. He passed away from Huntington's disease, and Huntington's disease destroys your muscles and your brain.
Oh, man!
And he passed away in his early 50s, and then my uncle passed away a few years ago from it in his 50s, and luckily, because it's a generational disease, my mom didn't get it, and so I don't have it.
Wow.
Otherwise, I would already be deteriorating as we speak. I would already be deteriorating. My life would be deteriorating. I only have like 5 or 6 years left, maybe 7. But luckily, by God's grace, Dodge, my mom, and my brother and I don't have it, and my kids don't have it. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Wow. So help us to understand, when you were a young kid, that Frank Borghi's hand, would that cover your whole head?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
I just was told the other day, the man had mitts. Mitts. Yogi Berra would have loved to catch with that mitt. Those hands. Yeah. My God, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that was before gloves. They say, Mr. Borghi, we don't have a size for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so walk us through your Facebook post of your camps and everything for
sure. Yeah. So MOLIGA Tech Ball was a technical training, private training program that we created. I had to make another income because of my daughter's medical bills, and my wife can't work, so I needed to do something in my spare time that I don't really have, and so we created a a private training program called MOLIGA. And how we do it is we're the most affordable private training program, I believe, in the state, but the highest quality, because I figure out a way to spread the expenses out and have multiple trainers out there. And that's part of the culture. That's part of the culture of how I coached. All of my trainers played for me. They played college for me. They played for Club Atletico for me. So they want to be a part of this movement of making young kids better at an affordable cost so that everyone can afford to be a better player. Because when I grew up, didn't have the funds to do a lot of the club stuff or a lot of the extras. And so that's a passion of mine. If I was going to create another part-time job, and if it was going to be in soccer, it had to benefit our soccer community. So that's some of the posts you're seeing with MOLIGA. We have a 5-on-5, 7-on-7 summer league, and training for only $99 a month, and you get to come Fridays and Saturdays. So that's one of the pillars that we have going. And then Club Atletico St. Louis is our semi-professional soccer team with players from a dozen different local colleges here in St. Louis, representing St. Louis at every division. And we're ranked 4th in the country. We're ranked 4th in the league. And we're undefeated. We're leading the Gateway Conference right now. We're the team to beat. And it's a pretty exciting. It's an exciting brand of soccer, and it's also just a great place to bring your family on Friday nights to come watch us play. And we're the Bluebirds. You can go bluebirds.com.
I just had to applaud.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you something from afar, not knowing nothing from nothing. That's what I kind of figured out, is that's the type of what you're going for, and it's authentic, baby, and you got to be about authenticity in order to see it, to feel it, and you are there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but on our last episode, we talked about the junior college avenue, that nowadays you could have like 6 years of college ball. You mature junior college, get your grades and everything, get your networking, and you're there. And now with the Atletico, hey, baby, you don't go on no notice. You don't go on notice, baby. You got some technical skills. You got that creativity. People, they talk. They know. You're probably a coast-to-coast dude by the time you get off the pitch.
Yeah. And, the culture that we have with Club Atletico is, which I think separates us from a lot of the other, semi-pro teams in the area, is we're a diverse group of levels of soccer where we specifically build a roster of about 28 guys that play JUCO, D1, D2, D3, NAIA. We make sure every division of St. Louis college, every college is represented in our program. We try our best. And those players get opportunities. So what that means is you're going to have a really good players at all of those levels, but not all of them are at the same levels. And everyone understands that, and everyone is trying to achieve a higher level. And the leaders of the highest levels who continue to play with us are mentors for the young group. And that's also important, as we have kids who just finished high school. They haven't even played a minute of college yet. And we start them in our team with guys who are about to play their senior year of college or just graduated this past summer. And so the amount of development in between the lines and even off the field in between training sessions is the bread and butter of why players want to play with Club Atletico. Is we're doing what's best for the team, the players' development, and that's what I think is unique about Club Atletico.
Hey, man, help me out here, because I'm in an echo chamber. I don't get out and around, and I don't talk to people like you. But so when I do, I gotta grasp it. It's the thing of being a player. To be the best player, you got to train like the best, and it's and you do what the best trained to do. And obviously, you're okay. You're going to make more mistakes, but you're training the best. You're not training below standard.
No.
You have the highest level of excellence. You train like Barcelona, baby. You train like Milan. Am I true with this?
Yeah, we've got good players, and we got players that are gonna be good. And you know, you have the players that are the 17 to the 19-year-olds who just aren't experienced yet, but they've got the raw talent, and they get better just after one summer. We have some kids who don't even want to play for the team because we're already booked. You know, we have our roster, and they're just like, can I just train with you? I just need to get training, and that's why our roster gets larger. You know, the training is good, and I mean, last week I just trained a bunch of 30-year-olds for the Latin League for one of our guys who supports us. You know, and it was kind of funny because I was out there and they're like, "What's Garza doing here?" And they're like, "Are we running? You know, what are we about to run? What are we doing, coach?" You know, they're asking their coach from the Latin League. They're like, "Is Ricky about to make us sprint?" You know, I'm not doing that. I'm here to tighten you up. You know, get the touches, get a little fitness, and they're like, and so they run. I run through a regular training session with this men's team from downtown Latin League, Ogliano, and there's a mix of like mid-20s to 30-something-year-olds. They had a blast. And at the end of the session, one guy is like, hey, can I get your number? This was the one that was complaining about the fitness. Afterwards, he goes, hey, can I get your number? Can you text me some fitness drills? Because now I really want to take myself to another level. That's a kid who's got to be 30 years old, and he still wants to get better. And I was just running a great, technical speed session with them and having a blast as a coach. It was kind of funny because, the day before I'm coaching my U23 team, and the next day I'm coaching guys that are almost as old as I am, and it was fun, and it was a blast. So I don't know. I'm just I think that if you're in the right coaching environment, you're going to be a better player, no matter what league you play in, no matter what level you play in. If you can find the right coaching environment and training environment, you can excel at another level. It's not always the platform that you got to go and chase. And a lot of parents in this club life think, I need my son to play MLS Next or ECNL or NADL or what. It's like they're just leagues. And at the end of the day, if your kid can't control a touch out of the air, if your kid can't play with his left foot in, his right foot just as good, if your kid can't, handle pressure, it doesn't matter what league they're in, he's still not going to be able to handle it. So it's all about just developing the player to be a better player and ready for the next chapter of their soccer life. And the leagues, for me, just aren't a thing. It's all about the development of the player.
Well, Rick, under full disclosure, you had me at hello, but if I was a rich uncle, how would I get somebody to get up with you and start, finding MOLIGA and this and that? And how does somebody get a hold of you, man?
Yeah, I guess my hub is the Facebook page or even Instagram, Ricky Garza, but MOLIGATechball.com is our training program, and GoBluebirds.com is our Club Atletico, and we have camps. I'm in the middle of the camp right now for Club Atletico, but we have another one in July, and we have every other week we're technical training on Friday nights and Saturday mornings. So all ages, 5 years old up to 18 years old. So
is it one location, Ricky?
All summer we're at the STL Center in Fenton.
Wow!
All summer, everything is there. So. Yeah, have them reach out. Anybody interested, want to get,
Is that indoor? Is that indoor play?
Yeah, indoor 7v7 fields, or 30 by 60 yards long. It's a great setup. Perfect setup. That's our home for the summers. That's where we're going to be every summer. And then we do year-round training, D1 training center in Baldwin starting back up in August. But for now, for the summer, we're in Fenton.
Man, that's a great location, baby.
It is. It really is.
Hey, whatever happened to that place off of Manchester and Kings Highway?
It's still there. A company named Toka took it over, and they do like analysis type stuff with some really cool equipment. And then they just they continue to rent it out, just for small sided games and stuff like that. But it's now called Toka.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where does the Latin League play, bro?
They got 20th and Carr downtown, like Jefferson Street.
Yeah.
Not too far from the city stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up playing down there until it got kind of dangerous. When I was playing, and I guess still now, but more when I was playing, it was, they put thousands of dollars and they bet on these games because you represent one city of Mexico versus another city of Mexico, and those cities now are rival, and they want to bet thousands of dollars on the games. And
Yeah.
and I'm the young guy out. I'm the young Mexican kid out there that is either preventing one team from winning or helping the other. So it's a lot of, I'm like, you know what? I got a future here. These guys are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Some of those games got a little interesting, but it was the funnest experience growing up. Playing in there, the league, it's an amazing opportunity. Very cultural. The best tacos and food vendors are there. It's a good experience.
Man. And, oh, man, I mean, I'd say this. The Latin League is well certified. You got to see it at least once, man. Like you said, if you want a taco, there's only one place to get a taco. That's that Latin League. Yeah.
It's grown. Carlos Gomez is the new commissioner. He's been running the league for a few years, and he's beefed it up. He's got them better fields. He's done a lot, and that's a name to know in the community too. Is Carlos Gomez.
Man, I think the Whale Certified's got to go down there with all my equipment, and they'll put me over.
Should.
Yeah, have interviews over by the taco truck.
Yes, seriously, I'll connect you with Carlos for sure.
Oh, man, this is just unbelievable stuff, man. I mean, you're like a diamond in the rough, man. I mean, gosh, all the activity you got going on. You got 10 more minutes with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so here you go. You have the preparation. I'm a big fan, of lingo, and it says, hey, man, you fail to prepare to fail, bro. Yeah, I mean, you're forget about it. This preparation, are you with this Champions League that just passed by, with this high school season that just passed by, you got things in the back of your head of looking for coming fall?
Like that we want to do, that we're trying to grow, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be focusing on my men and women college at St. Louis Community College this fall, and then just making sure that MOLIGA is still rocking. And then, I think we got everything we need right now is really just growing MOLIGA, and just continue to grow the brand of Club Atletico. I'd love to grow into a facility. Club Atletico would love to be a youth club, but I never wanted to be a club if I was going to charge club fees.
Yeah.
And we're getting closer, I feel like, infrastructure wise, to maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, that Club Atletico could launch a very small, limited team club that would be zero club fees.
Yeah, right.
Which would be unheard. I mean, right now my son plays for a club and it's like $2,000. So just the club fee.
Yeah, right.
It's so much. But if you play in these higher leagues, it gets even higher, 6,000, 8,000.
Yeah.
So I I think that would be something unique in the United States, period, and doing it here in St. Louis in soccer, the soccer mecca of the country, I think would be a great movement. And we wouldn't be competition with anyone because we aren't making money off of anyone.
Right.
And the clubs would be like, well, they're not making money. They're not taking any money out of our pocket. And we just have impact partners like Drive Force, like Bob Boyer and Associates with American Family Insurance. They're giving us money to be able to keep our costs down doing what we're doing now. And if we just get 5 or 6 more of those impact partners who just call us up and they want to make an impact in this society, we're there.
Right on.
We're there. So.
Rick, I tell you, baby, you're talking my language, and I'm not even going to try to be bilingual. I mean, gosh, that would be terrible. I don't even know English. But anyway, I'm looking that was the field. Like, okay, City Park, Energizer Park, that's nice. But having something half of that is really something that just, I could see the Latino League, this league, that league, everybody, the best high school games are there. Anybody wants a high school versus club. You only play there if you're the best type of thing.
Right.
I was thinking of, have you ever envisioned something like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we had prior to COVID, we had stadium renderings to go on the hill in Barra Park.
Oh my God, you're talking about, I just got goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was shot down by the alderman. So, the hill only Monsignor Bomarito knew about it, and the Hill Business Association, they saw the rendering. They loved the idea. They thought it was going to bring an amazing opportunity to the hill of such a historic soccer field of Bear Park.
Wow, yeah.
And we actually had renderings, and what we wanted to do is essentially put a stadium there and let the community use the field, the turf field. We were going to say, use it. We're not. You don't need a permit. You just need to sign some waivers. We didn't want to make it to where we were taking time away. We wanted to improve the community.
Right.
But it got shot down by the alderman.
Yeah.
So then we were going to do it up in Hazelwood, and that was all going through. And then COVID happened, and we've never recovered that movement ever since. But at that time, we were going to utilize that soccer-specific stadium for the best, events in the community, soccer-wise. Use them, bring them in, use it as a catalyst to unite the city rather than divide it, where you got to just have the money to use the facility. We wanted to give everyone an opportunity to use it at all the different levels of soccer in St. Louis.
Wow, Rick. Right. Yeah, man.
Maybe eventually we'll get back to it. It only came down to, at that time, all we needed was a guarantor to sign a piece of paper, and we were off and running. Hazelwood Steel was interested to lower the cost for us to build it. They were very interested at the time. We were going to use an Italian company for some of the products as well.
Right.
Anheuser-Busch met with their community outreach coordinator there, and he's like, hey, if you build a stadium, we want to support that if it's for the community. So we had everything moving in that direction. Maybe one day we're going to get back to that direction.
That's right, yeah.
That would fund a way for us to have 6 to 10 teams club that are virtually free.
Yeah.
And open for anybody to come out.
Right. When when you have the style and class of it all, that you have to be a player of significance to lace these boots up. I'm looking forward to that. And if Daddy Warbucks ever wants to make an appearance, they know where to find you. I'm Ricky.
Yes, that's right.
All right. So what comes naturally to Whale Certified is the time, but the time says this: hey, Ricky, whatever you want to say, to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your opportunity.
Perfect. Well, like we kind of talked a little bit, alluded to earlier, Ed Mueller. Last time I was on your show, I talked about my daughter who was failing to thrive, who had no diagnosis. They don't know why she's anemic. They still don't. I mean, she still doesn't have any diagnosis. But I got a call from your buddy and your listener, Eddie Mueller, about a day later. And he said, listen, I listened to your show. Amazing this, amazing that. But I don't want to talk about soccer. I want to talk about your daughter. And he says, I have a place to bring your daughter to get her help. And it's in Florissant, and it's the nuns that are clustered up there, and they do miracles and they pray over you. And we finally, after the winter, were able to bring Esri there, and the nuns laid their hands on her and they prayed over her, and within 2 weeks, everything changed in her body. And then we discovered a chiropractor who has changed everything going on. So now she's off of the feeding tubes that she had been 20 hours on, and now we're going on week number 2 now. We're just inside week number 2, where her whole life she's never been without feeding tubes. She's now been off of the feeding tubes. She's also was never on the weight chart, and she's in the 33rd percentile or something like that, 35th percentile now. She grew up a year and a half of her life. She was not on the growth chart or the weight chart. So this show, you talk about doing things outside the game. Had you not talked to me and invited me on this show, then Eddie doesn't listen to that. Esri isn't healing right now. So to you and to Eddie Mueller, my daughter's life is on, being saved at the moment because a viewer, a listener out there, heard your show and then called me. And so now if we can keep her off of the feeding tubes for another several days, they're talking about just kind of moving forward with her life. We still don't know why she's anemic. I mean, but we can live with, 3 or 4 iron infusions every month. We can live with that. She's not suffering as much with that as she is the other stuff. So yeah, it's a combination of you and Eddie, because my daughter Esri is been healed because of the show, or in the process of being healed, and God, of course. I mean, the nuns, and the praise of God, but and everything that they do. And that's what we talked about on your show too, is that her life and our lives are always in God's hands. So that's what I would like to share on your show at the end here is our gratefulness for my family, Allison, and my kids is so grateful. You created the platform that no other doctors have helped my daughter, and here your show has helped my daughter.
Wow. Well, thanks for gracing me with that information. And it's just true. They call them the Pink Sisters. They're off of Adelaide, off of Highway 70, up in the North City area, and the whole 9 yards is that they are authentic as the day's long. I have personal stories about it. My friends and family have personal stories, but the Pink Sisters, they call a legion of 1,000 adorers, and it's in for you to normally you can't talk to them. They only have a special, but because of Eddie Miller, he's like one of the he's one of the servers and stuff. They say bring her, Eddie, and you're things are. Wow, I've got goosebumps, man. I gotta, okay. So, thank you for that, and that way of we're on a journey to extraordinary, and being well certified is something you get along the journey, right, Ro? And I want you to know that I know that you know. I've already had you and your family in the Hall of Fame. I just put St. Louis Atletico in the Hall of Fame. I put your club in the Hall of Fame. You got it?
All right, sounds good.
All right. So you always have an open mic here, Ricky. So whatever you and yours want, you got. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you, man. All right. So long, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is Whale Certified, and you too can be Whale Certified if you try. Thanks, Eddie.